Hi there, and welcome to the Homestead Education Podcast. Do you have a homestead, farm, or just dream of a rural life? This is a show to help you and your kids grow your own food and grow as a person. I'm your host, Kody Hanner. I'm a homesteader, homeschool mom of 6, and small town enthusiast. I was raised by an old school rancher and blessed by the grace of God to have been exposed to so much of what rural life has to offer. Join me every week to talk about homesteading, homeschooling, and growth with a homestead education. Hi, everyone. So today I have Kristen Weller from Schoolhouse Teachers. She is their marketing manager, and I'm so excited to learn about their company. So hi.
Hi, glad to be here.
So we've been chatting a little bit before, and I was on her podcast. We recorded a couple weeks ago.
It's coming up.
And
Yeah.
awesome. And we had a chance to just really talk about homeschool helpers and things that help homeschool moms.
Mhm.
And today we're going to talk about their curriculum and how it can be used in your home.
So just to backtrack a little bit, so
Yeah.
ultimately our company is the Old Schoolhouse, and so we have a couple divisions under that. So part of that company is that podcast, which is the Hey Mama Homeschool Show. So if you're listening and you're looking for a homeschool podcast, we'd love for you to join us. And so I am one of the hosts for that. And you'll be seeing that episode with Kody coming up soon. And another sister company that's under our umbrella is schoolhouseteachers.com, and it is a curriculum site for homeschoolers. And basically, I like to say that this is a one-stop shop for homeschooling families. There's so much in this site to even begin to cover it all in one little talk here. So I'll do my best, but you can use this membership. So it is a membership for the entire family. It's for your entire family. So you can get every subject for every grade, and it's one price. And
Wow.
this is why it's so unique, because most of the time you buy a curriculum per grade or per kid, and it's only, good for one kid. And then the costs add up. And so I
They
can
add
tell
up
you.
fast too. We have 6 kids, and so it's like you get your core membership, but then there's an added for each additional kid. And then the core memberships only cover core courses. If you want to take anything else, then you have to, yeah, it gets expensive quick.
That's right. And so I can tell you that I always tell people my personal story. I'm a homeschooling mom of 2 boys. And when I started, and I'm here in Ontario, Canada. So I paid $800 Canadian for my first year of homeschooling. And because I bought this wonderful big box, and it was fantastic. I loved getting the big box, and I loved all the books that came inside, because this particular curriculum was heavy on reading, um, and which was my thing, because I love reading. But I quickly learned that my kids don't learn the same way that I did.
That's a
And
hard
so,
pill to swallow.
right? And so I had to learn to not think that way when I'm purchasing curriculum. I have to focus on what my kids need and what their learning styles were. And that's one of the things that you learn as a homeschooler if you're just getting started out there. Um, take our advice, start small and take the
Yep.
baby steps. And so I learned that, not everything in a box is going to work. And so slowly I realized, oh, I'm not even using half of this stuff.
Yep.
So, and then you feel bad because, oh, but I spent all this money and we're not
Yes,
going
then
to
you
use
feel
it.
obligated to we're going to spend all day Saturday reading this book, and you end up burning your kids out.
Yeah, exactly. And so I needed something. So I started looking for other things, and I started piecing together like, okay, they like this science stuff over here, and then we'll just use this for math over here. And so that's what I started doing for a couple of years. But again, it adds up, right? Every little subject costs money. Um, and I was smart enough to find certain things at the library, save money and all of that stuff. So there are ways to reduce money. But then I was in search of some specific content because I discovered interest-led learning. And that's the direction that I take with my kids right now. And so a few years ago, my kids, both boys, were
Boys are
surprise,
so hard.
surprise, 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 they were obsessed with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And so but I didn't want to teach the whole evolution type of idea behind all of that. So I was on the hunt, like, talking to all the homeschooling mamas out there. I'm like, hey, help me. I want a Christian based
Yeah, that one's
curriculum.
challenging.
And someone turned me on to schoolhouseteachers.com, and I discovered their Dinosaurs in the Bible course. And at the time, they had the option of doing a monthly or a yearly membership. And so I'm like, well, I could probably get away with just doing the month and just do that one course for the month. But
I
then I
actually,
started
just on
looking.
that dinosaur thing, I remember like this is so vividly burned into my brain. I was playing volleyball at youth group when I was, junior high or something. And I turned to the youth pastor and I said, hey, I have a question. How do you explain dinosaurs? And he goes, oh, they made them up to trick you into not believing in God.
No, that's
It's
not right.
like, right? And I mean, I've learned a lot since then. We all go through our no, my beliefs have never wavered, but my understanding of the beliefs have changed. And that
Right.
one just always sat with me that I'm like, how do I properly teach my children that, especially when I'm a scientist myself? I mean, that's what I majored in and worked in for years.
Mm-hmm.
And that one was a challenging one for me.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, you want to make sure that you know what you're talking about, right? And that you
Mhm.
understand it, so that you can teach it to your kids, because guess what, your kids are going to come back with the same questions. Well, what does that mean and how does that work? and and you need to be prepared. And so having these resources available is so helpful. So here we are, we found Dinosaurs in the Bible, and I decided, I was looking through the site and I'm like, oh, there's a whole bunch of things on here. So schoolhouseteachers.com has 400 plus courses, and it
Oh,
covers kindergarten all the way to grade 12. And core subjects are covered, plus all these extra things. So you've got elective courses, you've got, computer stuff, you've got foreign languages, you got music, drama, art, all of those things um, are included in this site. And so I started going through all of this, and I'm like, I don't know, I think we might try this out for the whole year. And so I did, and I've never looked back.
that's
And
wonderful.
yeah, and so we use it. And so the wonderful thing about this, like I mentioned before, when you find something that's not working, you don't have to feel like, but I spent so much money on this, I gotta finish it. You can say, well, okay, that one's not working. Let's just try this one over here. And
Mhm.
it doesn't cost me anything because it's all included.
Oh,
And
I
so,
love that.
yeah. And so, and again, now that I'm teaching two of them, so when I first started, it was just the one. So now I've got two homeschooling full time, and it was so helpful not to think that, oh, I got to buy another curriculum. This
Yeah.
is so, for you, you said six kids, like you would pay the one price for the year, and everybody gets their curriculum for like everything is right there. And so they're one of the things that people always look for is like they want online stuff. And so we've got this is a unique platform where we have different variety of learning. So there are text-based courses where you can um print out what you need.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
there are video-based courses that you can like listen to a video and then again have printout worksheets as well. We also added last year new interactive courses. So these are lots of fun. My kids are really enjoying some of them. So we're slowly adding some of the same current courses that we have into this interactive mode, where you can drag and drop and do matching. There's so many different
Nice.
fun ways of learning the same content that's already there um, in the regular formats. And yeah, it's just there's so many different ways. So and this was good because I realized that my two kids are nothing alike in the way that they learn. So where my firstborn, he will sit and he will read and he will answer the questions. He's like me. We'll give him a textbook and he's good and he'll do that. My other one needs the interactive and the
Yeah.
video based. And so you can pick and choose what which course. And then again with the interest led learning, they if this one doesn't sit right with them, they're just like, this is not working for me, can I try something else? And then they can go on and they can look and they can see and they can try it out, and then they always find something that they like and they'll say, yeah, we're going to stick with this one, and that's what we do, and then until it's time to pick something else.
That's awesome. So, okay, I have some devil's advocate type questions
Yes,
because
please.
as this homeschool mom that has gone through like hundreds of curriculums.
Yeah.
Okay, so say like my 6-year-old, he is
Mhm,
refusing to do English right now. He only
mhm,
wants to do math,
mhm,
and he does like the good and the beautiful math. He does Saxon math, and he does
mhm.
IXL on his
Right,
own. That's his
right.
thing.
Yes.
So like if he were to be doing this and he were to get all the way through first grade math, could he just jump right to second grade math, or do you have to just stick within your year, or what?
Nope, you can do, and that's the thing about my kids too. They jump from grade level to whatever level they can handle, they do it. They dive right in. And so you can be as flexible as you want with this. And so we do have a scope and sequence where you can, check do the checklist and see where your kid kind of falls into, based on their grade level, but you are not bound to that at all. And
That's
so,
nice. So kind of
um,
like for those unschooled style families that need to like just fit where they want to fit and
exactly,
like have something at the end of the year to.
exactly. And so, like, for your 6 year old, could be like at a grade, I don't know, grade six level math at this point, probably. He's probably
Uh,
such an expert on it. And, and then, and then still do grade six, I mean, not grade six, the lower level of
mm, reading.
English and the other subjects, where he's at.
Mhm.
And slowly, like, and you'll find like some years, like especially when they were younger, I found that they flew right through the lower grades.
Okay.
And so and they went through it quickly.
And they
So
can
they
jump to the next one when they're ready.
and they just jumped to the next one when they're ready. And so that we didn't wait till the end of the year. I'm like, well, we still got a few more months left of good schooling. Keep going. Just jump on to the next one. And they're happy to do it because they're enjoying the topics, they're enjoying the subjects. And yeah, I mean, for those who, aren't so comfortable just winging it and being creative with, what your curriculum looks like, we do have school boxes, I should say suggested school boxes. So you can just click on grade one and we'll give you a suggested list of courses that are level appropriate. And so
Okay.
you can go from there. But hey, if you didn't like grade one math, you could not do that specific math one and just pick another one and add it to your list. So
That's awesome.
there's so many options for, whatever level you are at as a homeschooling parent. We've got it for you, and we've got help for resources for you as well.
So for like the online math, that was one of the issues we had, is that I had a couple kids who didn't love school
Mhm.
and they would game their math.
Yes.
Is how game proof is your curriculum?
Well, and that's hard to say because we have so many math courses.
Uh-huh.
So, and again, it depends. Like if it's going to be one of those text-based type courses, or if it's going to be a video-based one, it depends. Or we're slowly adding the math to the interactive one. Again, the interactive, like in that case, the interactive one would be
Very
the one.
gameable, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you just keep trying it, and if it doesn't work.
Exactly. And that's the thing with any of these courses though. Like if you're not getting it, you can still, like, there's no time limit. You work at your own pace.
Mhm.
You can keep going, redo as much as
'Cause,
you
like I've
want.
had two different types of teams. One that's like, I don't get it. I'm gonna watch this video until I figure it out. Mom, we're
Right,
gonna get out the whiteboard. You're gonna explain it to me, and I am gonna figure this out. And then I
right.
have the one that's like, I'm gonna click a button and hit enter. Nope, that was wrong. I'm gonna click the button again and hit enter. Nope, that was wrong.
Right,
You just kind of
right.
keep, and you're like, why don't you try watching the video or actually working the math problem out? They're like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Click, that was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? And for that case, it's probably good to just say, well, you know what, how about you try it this way? Because you have the option with schoolhouseteachers.com. You have the option to give them the different variety. You're not breaking the bank for doing this. And so let them try it and let them see, okay, well, okay, my way of clicking is not working. Let me see if I can maybe, and just, you never know. Maybe they might turn that way and say, I need to watch this video a couple more times. And
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know that when you have some neurodivergent or more stubborn children, sometimes you can't always just,
true.
no curriculum is going to fix that.
No, of course, of course. And
But
this is where it helps to know uh how your child learns,
yeah,
because you know what's best. And so you would be able to look at these courses. And if you wanted to jump on right now, we've got a whole list of samples on there that you could,
oh wow, okay.
walk through on there and test them out and see um how it works. And if get your kids in front of the computer as well, and let them look at it, let them look at the descriptions, let them look at a little bit of the lesson plans and all of that stuff, and see if it's something that grabs their attention.
Well, and I love that because that's something I've done with my kids every year is I'm going to use my quotations again, they get to choose their own curriculum.
Yes.
And I do that in a way that I'm like, okay, you're freshmen, you need to be taking algebra. Let's look at three different algebra curriculums and you decide which one makes the most sense to you or you feel most drawn to. And then
Right.
that way there's a little bit of ownership and autonomy in what they're doing, but I'm making sure that they're still meeting what they need to do. And I started that with my kindergartner. We started homeschooling when our kids were older, but then we had two youngers that I'm hitting my first time doing like kindergarten, first grade right now. And so I took him to a homeschool conference and I was like, okay, let's find what you want, and of course then I'm
Yep.
guiding him towards what he wants, but he still had that autonomy in it. So
Yeah. Yeah. And it's important for them to pick, because then they feel like, well, I didn't pick this, so I don't want to do it. But
mhm,
oh wait, yes, you did.
yeah.
So you got to take some
Also,
ownership there.
one thing I've talked about it on our podcast a lot is we allow one veto. And so
Mm,
if we get to December and we're like, that curriculum killed us all. We hate it. We don't love it. Out the door it goes, and we pick something new. And it makes it a little bit more fun because then we get to pick something new in January. And then where we're at right now is about half of our curriculum we get in September and half of it we get in January because we've been doing this for several years. So
mm,
everything kind of gets bumped up. So we're finishing whatever we chose the last January now. And it's become kind of a fun thing that my kids enjoy. So I could see that with your course, if there's something they don't love, it's much easier to veto it than it is for us when we're trying to buy new curriculum right after Christmas.
Exactly, exactly. And so this is where like this is one of the things I tell homeschooling parents all the time. You got to be flexible because that's what homeschooling is. Like it's all about flexibility. And so this allows you to have choices where you're not bound to a specific, okay, this is what curriculum is for 2023, 2024. We can't stray from it, whether we like it or not. Who and you as the teacher, you don't like that either, because then it's not fun for you. And
Wow.
so then it's painful for everyone. And then it's like, oh, you're
Yeah, and
you're sitting in January and you're like, how are we gonna make it to June? You
well,
know?
that's why we do it with just one of them too, because I'm like, okay, you made your choice. You picked your
Yes.
curriculum. You need to follow through with it.
Yeah.
So we'll finish it. Next year you can pick something new. But if there's that one that's like, it's gonna kill us all, like, the kids are gonna run away from home and my husband and I are gonna get a divorce if we try to finish this curriculum.
Right. Right.
Or they're gonna be scarred from history for the rest of their lives. Like,
Oh,
let's
history is a
you know
tough one.
yeah,
Yeah.
like we had one that it was a high school level English, and I won't say which curriculum it was, but it was really heavy on the root of words.
Okay.
Well, my high schoolers are I mean I have high schoolers now that are freshmen that they've learned differently. My older high schoolers were that are now out of the house, they had really bad learning disabilities. So I'm like, okay, well, it's a box set high school curriculum. It's cool. We'll work through it. It's all workbook type stuff. I've loved all their other curriculums. And this was so heavy on the like word root stuff. And like one of my kids could barely spell. So being able to understand this word root stuff and not being able to spell, like, I mean, he was in tears every day.
Oh,
And it was really hard for me because I'm looking at it going, well, you can just see it's that word because that's how you spell it, you know?
yeah.
And I mean, we were like, this is not the curriculum for him. And I've actually learned at this point, like my freshmen are doing seventh grade English,
Hmm.
not because they're horribly behind. One of them is a wonderful reader and writer, but is really dyslexic and can't spell.
Hmm.
And, like, so then she struggles with her grammar and that type of stuff, trying
Right,
to
right.
like those base skills. And then her brother, who is a wonderful speller, he is autistic and they're twins.
Hmm.
He's autistic and and he reads really well, but he has a hard time like expressing himself with word. Like, so he does a hard time like putting sentences together and stuff. So I'm like, rather than put them in a freshman level English that's just gonna like upset them and stress them out and make them feel worse about their disabilities, why don't I go back a couple years, find something that's going to build those core things, give them confidence, and it's not so far back that they're doing like grade school learning. They're still reading appropriately aged level literature and that type of stuff. So uh,
Hmm.
I think that's really great that they can bounce around like that.
Yeah. And I mean, we one of the unique things too about our schoolhouseteachers.com is that we've got a homeschooling community. We have a group that's very active.
Oh,
And
I love
so,
that.
some people may, if you mentioned algebra, some may be starting the algebra course, and hey, we've forgotten how to do algebra, and so they're sitting there. How does this work again? What's the answer for the? And they'll post,
Yeah.
okay, we're on this page and we're working on this. Somebody help me! I can't figure it out. And you moms will jump right in and say, okay, well, try this approach or try this approach. And
Right.
so we're all helping each other. So I mean, you are definitely not alone if you're a schoolhouseteachers.com member. You've got a whole community of homeschoolers to help you. And we've got tips and resources and cheat sheets and all these kinds of things that are on our resources and tools lists for you. Even tips on teaching special needs. We've got all of those things as well. And so we just want to make sure that you're equipped with what you need to do this homeschooling journey.
Nice. Well, so that's my next question is how much parent involvement is there? Are we grading? Are we teaching
Yes.
lessons? Like what?
So you are the teacher, and so
Okay.
we
Oh, I
provide you
love
with
that.
all the curriculum. So yeah, you do the grading. So there is no grading system. But we do provide, as part of your membership, you do have access to Apple Core, which is a program that you can use. You can use it to create report cards, transcripts, all of that stuff. So you have access to all of that, which is all included in your membership. So, but yeah, the parent, we do believe that the parent needs to be involved. So we don't believe that, you stick your kid in front of a screen and you walk away, right?
I
Like
really
this
like
is,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So you are, even if you do choose one of our video-based courses, you still need to be there. You still need to be there to guide. I mean, obviously the older ones, your older students will be able to do it on
Yeah.
their own. But for the younger ones, for sure, you need to be present. You need to be guiding them, watching, what they're doing. And then of course you're going to be grading their work because you need to be involved. Otherwise,
So, like
how are
I
they?
work from home, so when my teens have a video course, I have them cast it to the TV.
Yep, I do
And
see
I'm
that.
not like I'm not really watching it, but I'm there. And then if
Yes.
they have questions, I'm not completely unsure of what they're doing, or they can rewind it on the video screen and I'm not having to like put another laptop in my lap and figure out what they're
Exactly.
doing. Because that
Exactly.
I always love that. Mom, I don't know how to do this math problem, and all of a sudden there's a laptop and 3 books in my lap, and I like, I don't
Yeah.
have this.
Exactly, exactly. And one of the features that we have on the website is a bookmark feature. So many parents do that for their kids. So, John's going to have a set of bookmarks under his name, and then Mary's going to have one on her under her name. And so
Nice.
they can just you log in with your family membership, and you just go to your bookmarks tab, and they can find the quick links to their courses, and you organize it how you like. I know a lot of parents use Google Classroom sometimes to just put the links in there and just say, okay, this week to organize it that way. I mean, the possibilities are endless in terms of how you want to organize it, and that's the thing. We empower parents to choose what's best, how
So
they want to function.
is everything like pre-recorded, pre-uploaded? Like do you have to be there at any certain times?
Nope. It's as you're on your own schedule, your time limit. So if you only watch 5 minutes of a video this week and you want to carry it on next week, you can. It's
I have to
totally up
say,
to you.
it is really hard as homesteaders to be anywhere at a
Yeah,
certain
yeah,
time.
yeah. I get it.
Because,
I get
like,
it.
I mean, even if you want to try, like, my son goes up and does his chores in the morning, and we're like, okay, well, as soon as he gets home, back to the barn from doing chores, then we're going to start school. And we get like a call from him from the barn, like, we have a pig in labor and everything's done. We're not doing school. We're up
Right,
at the barn.
right, right.
So, yeah, it's nice to be able to do things at our own pace.
Exactly, exactly. And you can do that with schoolhouseteachers.com.
Let's see. I had another question. Where did it go? My brain just like it's hot. Gotta love that, right?
Yeah, let me see. What else do we have here? We've got you mentioned preparing for the high school, college, and all that stuff. We've got
Oh,
high school help, we got college help, career advice, all of that stuff.
that's great. So are there accredited teachers that are teaching these courses, or are you taking information and providing it? Like,
So yeah, so these are homeschoolers who have created these courses for us, and so we are not accredited with anything. So, but there are accredited courses that you can use, and the information is on there for which one is
okay.
which. There's a whole um page where it explains how the credits work and
Which
how you can.
honestly, no skin off my back because most of that credited stuff, like there's certain things that you're supposed to be teaching your kids that you're like, nope, that's the reason we homeschool.
Exactly, exactly. And so it's there, and and exactly that's what we follow through with. So it's there in case, because it depends on which state you're living into and what's required and all that reporting and all of that stuff too. So it's there if you need it, if you need that, point form, what you need to count this course as, or if this is a half course or half credit, or however
Okay.
we count things differently over here in Canada.
Right. Yeah.
So, but for sure, and we view, like, this is applicable to anyone. We have users from all around the world, not just in the United States. So, and it's
And then with
been
your high school level ones with showing the credits, you can still take that to colleges that are used to working with high school
exactly
or homeschool
exactly.
children. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been looking into partnering with some of the colleges and all of that stuff. So
For like a
because
dual enrollment type thing.
colleges, I'll tell you, they are recognizing that there are more and more homeschoolers, and homeschoolers are good students and they want homeschoolers. And
Mhm.
so the opportunities, especially for here in Canada, the doors are just, they're opening
Mhm.
for homeschoolers specifically. So I mean, hey, if you were worried about what's going to happen in those high school years, or beyond, um, don't be too afraid, because we're breaking down those doors.
Right. And there's so many options.
There's so many.
People see things like, oh, high school uh diploma or GED or equivalent, and they're like,
Correct.
okay, so my kids have to have one of those. Well, an associate's degree would be a higher equivalent. So that doesn't, and you can start at a community college with no high school diploma. So,
Exactly.
and that's what
Yep.
people just don't get. There's so many different options.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So, all right. Well, do you want to tell everyone where they can find you guys, like what, website and social medias?
yeah, you can find us just about anywhere. So the website is schoolhouseteachers.com.
Okay.
And that is the full name, and that is the site, and you will find everything that you need. Our social media links are on there, but you can for sure find us on Facebook. Pop into the community group. We'd love to have you and talk all things homeschooling
Okay.
with you. We're also on Instagram, and I want to say Twitter, but I think it's called X now. I'm so behind on the times.
Yeah.
But we are out there. You can find us on Pinterest as well too. And so definitely check us out and let us know. And I'm happy to answer any questions. My email address is cweller@theoldschoolhouse.com. Or just send us a message and say you need to talk to Christine, and they'll through our customer service, and they'll find me.
Awesome. So, my favorite question for all of my guests is, what does keep growing mean to you?
Keep growing. Yeah. Okay. Keep growing means you should always be learning no matter what. And I think for personally for myself is, you're never too old to learn something. And every situation, no matter what, I mean, life brings all kinds of things your way. And
Yeah.
so, but there's always something to learn from it. And this is my hope for my children, whether you're going through, the happy times, the sad times, the hard times, what are you learning from this? Because it's going to make you stronger and better for what is to come. And so, yeah,
Well,
I think that's a good
uh,
thing, a good motto for keep growing. Yeah, that's a good one.
well, thank you so much for your time, and look forward to chatting again.
Thanks for having us. Bye.
Stop recording now.
Thank you for joining me today at the Homestead Education, and I hope that I have given you something to think about this week. To help others find me, please comment and leave a review on your favorite podcast player. You can also follow me on Facebook at the Homestead Education and Instagram at Homestead_education. Do you have questions that you would like answered or just want to say hi? Please email me at hello@thehomesteadeducation.com. Until next time, keep growing!